and welcome back to Retail Week Live. We're here on the morning of the second day and I'm joined by Terry von Bibra, Alibaba Europe's General Manager. How are you, Terry?
I'm very good, thank you.
You just gave a fantastic keynote, thanks so much, it was really interesting. I guess maybe a really good place to start would be to talk about Singles Day in China versus Black Friday here in the UK. Obviously the scale of it in China last year was absolutely massive, and I think it's safe to say that in the UK this last year it was perhaps a little bit underwhelming. What do you think, if there is one lesson that UK retailers could learn from Single Day in China to make Black Friday here more exciting and immersive, what would it be?
You know, it's difficult for me to advise them because a lot of brands here are more experts on Black Friday here than I am, right? So I can only really help from my perspective about what's perhaps different. And yes, it's larger, our Singles Day, but that's because China is larger, our market share is larger than many retailers have, so that makes it larger per definition. But the challenges are very similar. There's such an operational challenge to be ready. How much is enough? But perhaps the biggest difference is Singles Day in China is a marketplace event. So there's a huge amount of preparation done between the brands and our platform Tmall. While here, Black Friday is an event for my e-commerce site. So each my e-commerce site and my physical store, they're working together as a team against all the others. In our case, it's all these brands together working together. Sure, they're competing, but they're working together with us to have the best, amazing event for the Chinese consumer. So the focus is on the consumer, on our platform, as opposed to my e-commerce site, my store, and what are we going to do?
One of the things in your talk which was really refreshing was you talked about the scale of the opportunity in China, but also the scale of the challenge, which I think quite a lot of the time it's quite easy to sweep that under the rug just because of how massive that market is. With that in mind, what would you say is a common misconception that you hear from the UK retailers and the retailers throughout Europe that you're talking to who are considering launching in China?
So, I mean, the biggest misconception, it really depends on where someone is in the stages. There are stages of delusion in terms of just how far someone is. That's maybe not the nicest term to use, but
it's great. It's
it
honest.
describes it. So the first level of misunderstanding would be to say, it's really big, so if I just get my products there and I can solve the logistic challenges in a financially feasible way, then I'll be good. Because there's just so much traffic and Tmall is so big and has such a great market share. That is a big misconception.
If you're there, it'll just work.
Because it won't.
No.
Because we have, 10 million different, partners. We have, hundreds of millions of consumers, and they're being competed for. Their mind share being competed for in the most intensive competitive marketplace in the world. So just being there just gives the opportunity to be missed. You have to be there, and then you need to really figure out what is the right positioning of my brand. This is the second misperception. If I'm positioned with a brand here in the UK, and your brand owners, your marketing team, they want you to go there and say, this is my solution. I have this target audience, it's women between the age of 25 and 35 in this economic situation, and I have the best solution for them. That might not be the best place to position your brand in China. So you have to step back and not say, I'm going to completely throw everything overboard. I'm going to have to adapt my brand because it's not about the British woman's wants and needs, who you've successfully built a brand business on, in this case. It's the Chinese woman in that case. So you need to figure out how your brand is attractive to the Chinese consumer as a Western quality, in this case British quality, British design, British fashionable, but fulfills a need that is very local.
What do you think, if there is one quality that UK retail leaders today need to have if they're going to succeed and make a proper go of it in China, what is it?
They need to be resilient. Resilient. They need the energy and the conviction to say, I'm going to go in, I'm going to invest my money. That's frankly rarely easy. I'm going to invest my time. That's much more difficult. I'm going to invest my best people's time and brain power. And there's going to be setbacks. I need the resilience to say that setback, of course it annoys me, but that setback, I actually learned from it. Now I'm going to be a bit further. I'm going to do something else and I'll have other setbacks, but I'll learn. And it's because of the size of the opportunity justifies that. If my company came from a small country somewhere in the world, you and I wouldn't be having this conversation because people wouldn't put up with the complexity and challenge if the long-term reward wasn't so important. We are very fortunate that we were a company born in China because the opportunity is so big.
Great, all right. So interesting. Thanks very much, Terry.
My pleasure. Thank you.